The subconscious body is the most complex to understand. It has many functions, and one of the most important functions is that it operates as the projector of our experience. As it is known, it is where the subconscious programmings are found and interact with our deep desires and our traumas. Together, they create an intricate knot composed by thoughts, feelings, senses, understandings, etc., that eventually form the complexity that we call the belief system. Your desires affect your perspective and your point of view about your experiences, including the lack of some. The experiences that you haven't experienced affect you as well as the experiences that you have had. A desire can be created by both the presence of one situation or by its absence. A healthy person and a sick person both want to be healthy tomorrow. Those desires are also affected by your traumatic experiences that you had in the past or any other situation that you have identified yourself with. Your understanding is affected by your desires that are affected by your traumas, and the previously formed belief system is affecting any incoming experience, assimilating it within the knot, and also sustaining that cluster. To this chaotic mix of ideas and reflexes are added daily extra stimuli, like our choices, which include both our thoughts and our emotions, and those are reinforced by our physical actions, which, as you can understand, have already been influenced by the subconscious knot of the interconnections between senses, conditions, and conclusions. For the knot to be unraveled, one must understand the complexities that brought it into existence, to examine each string that is entangled to it and interacts with it, separately and neutrally. In order to find the initial stimuli unfiltered, we must first remove the layers of perception that the knot created, and then to disentangle each thread that contributed to the creation of the knot. This process provides countless information about our mind and helps us make understandings that lead us to control and enjoy our experiences. Every decision is more than just one decision in the dualistic world. It is a compilation of previous selections and consents that happened inside of us and now are appeared in the form of a choice or a preferable course of action. Every choice is a statement that by extent aims towards more than just one thing, but also away from multiple others. Why do our choices play such an important role in this engagement? Because our urges might come from the knot. Our subconscious programming and our uneducated approach towards events determine what our subconscious mind thinks we want based on the reactions and choices we have had from previous stimulus, which includes the absence of choice or reaction. For us to be able to understand the subconscious system, we must first understand what underlying symbolism is and how the lacking of awareness about it can lead someone to allow unwanted experiences to be manifested through implied consent. Jerry Weintraub said, and I quote, "Every minute doing one thing is a minute not doing something else. Every choice is another choice not made, another path grown over lost." When we use words like right or wrong, good or bad, we actually, among other things, imply that we've gone through a subconscious process of comparing the two sides and came to a conclusion by defining their attributes. We also imply what side we stand for and which we are against. Of course, the accuracy of our judgment does not determine the nature of our experience, but reveals our state of mind and our influences. There is a famous quote from Alan Watts in an attempt to explain something he calls the backwards law, or how it used to be called by Eastern philosophy, the law of reversed effort. This display of cause and effect is based on the layers of the subliminal choices we make every day before even we make conscious ones. When you try to stay on the surface of the water, you sink, but when you try to sink, you float. Insecurity is the result of trying to be secure. This quote describes that trying to achieve a specific result just creates the opposite sometimes, depending on your motivation and your intent. This is not happening because the matrix works wrong or there is some universal law that states the opposite of what you want will happen. Ha ha ha. On the contrary, it happens because what we are pursuing often indicates that we like it. When we focus on what we want to happen, we also focus subconsciously on the fact that it is not happening. This comes in conflict with the fact that in this reality we manifest what we already transmit, and we transmit what we experience. So experiencing the lack of something empowers its absence and not its arrival. Your subconscious mind does not recognize sarcasm or irony. It takes everything literal. Regardless of what you aim, your subconscious knows what is implied behind every choice. If you desperately want to be rich, for example, your subconscious sees that you are not rich in the now, so it empowers that. All the choices you make each moment, inner and outer ones, are the symbolic demonstrations that your subconscious is going to project into your life experience. Another example, if you want to be beautiful, but you are not feeling beautiful and not seeing that you are already gorgeous from every aspect and in its shape, there is no affirmation or technique that can help you, but only the conscious demonstration of the intended result in the now moment. When you avoid facing an inner issue, it does not empower its absence. It empowers the idea you hold about it and the reasons that you are avoiding it. Also, it empowers its effect on you, the way you have defined it with your beliefs. So your choices actually create your next choices in a circle that only breaks with pure unconditional love, honesty, appreciation, understanding, responsibility, and awareness. Trying to cheat your way out of it only empowers your incompetence of dealing with it, and the insecurity that drives you to do so. Appreciating only the positive things is a negative thing, and appreciating the negative things is a positive one. There are those unspoken words behind the words we use, the explicit motivation behind our actions, the unstated compromises we made over the years that are now shadowing our perception and push us to repeat the same old patterns that we try so hard to avoid. Those subconscious programmings and our shadow self have the tendency to reinforce the same ideas that brought them into their current state by justifying one's actions by any means, while at the same time they degrade the importance from anything that will put those egotistical urges and conditions under questioning. Eventually they will block the road that leads to self-improvement and self-empowerment. The amount of energy required by a person to manage on a daily basis is the equilibrium of the energy that needs to be converted in order for the person's intentions to be materialized. It is how much fuel a car needs for it to go from the point A to the point B in the form of triggers, lessons, and challenges, among others. That actually means that when negative experiences appear to your life and you try to avoid them, in reality you might try to avoid the energy that is required for your dreams to come true, and this is happening due to false expectations that you created using the method of judgment and comparison at some point in your life. This is a layer that is attached to the knot as well. Most people don't stay in their now moment because they feel like not knowing enough about the world. That makes them feel that they need to figure out things. So they live there now, empowering insecurity and all the things they don't like in order to find something that can only be found in the now moment. if you suddenly remove all the thoughts that are obviously intended to keep you down and in fear, then you can have a clear mind to reevaluate the situation and improve your perspective on it. This is another example of how trying to be in control is a sign that we believe we are not. So by forcing it, we sustain the experience we wanted to avoid in the first place. All that happens when we try to dodge our responsibilities and attempt to patch our wounds instead of healing them. What you avoid controls you. The same mistake is happening from people who are still asleep to some high-frequency information, as well to woke ones. This is known as spiritual bypass, when we try to use our skills and abilities in order to evade endeavor. Wanting magical results without implementing any actual energy into the thought form we want to materialize. You have ears to hear and eyes to see. Trying to use your inherent abilities in order to avoid dealing with your own self is like putting music too loud so it will stop you from seeing. It actually makes no sense and it will just make things more complicated than they already are. You have to do the inner work and know thyself.